Alright everyone, I'm here to give you a video. And this video, I am going to make this public, but this is going to be two videos edited into one. Actually, I might not make this part of it public, never mind. WWE posted on the WWE website the top 50 matches of 2014. And I'm going to go over them, talk about them, and then later on this week, I'm going to come back and make a video and give you my version using the same matches and tell you where I think they should be placed on the card. It's going to take a while, so I don't know how long it will take, but I will do my best, the best I can. So let's get right into it. I haven't even seen these yet, but let's see. It's the top 50 matches of top 25 matches of 2014. So that means I don't have a lot to work with. I thought it was 50. I don't know why, but I did. Because I think normally I would think it would be 50. I wouldn't think it would be 25. I at least think they could have done 30. But anyhow, let's. I'm just gonna talk about them and then go over them. I'm not only gonna be too critical right now because when I give my list, I will do it. So let's do it. Alright, so number 25 is Daniel Bryan versus Kane. When Daniel Bryan defending the World Heavyweight Championship, defending the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Kane at Extreme Rules, in an Extreme Rules match. That actually was a good match. I did enjoy it. And on the website, that's number 25 too. I forgot to mention. The picture is actually Daniel Bryan flying off going off the forklift and doing the dive and headbutt to Kane. So I think that's pretty good stuff. All right, next match. So that was number 25. Here's number 24. My computer's just taking forever. And if you want to see my review of that match, check out my Extreme Rules 2014 review. Number 24 is Brie Bella versus Stephanie McMahon from SummerSlam 2014. Obviously 2014. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah. And it's the picture it shows is Stephanie McMahon choking Brie Bella in the ropes. All right, so number 23. Just waiting. Alright, so number 23. Alright, that's all the pay-per-views and stuff though. Like any event that it takes place is in 2014. Number 23 is Cesaro versus Randy Orton from SmackDown February 14th on Valentine's Day. I actually forgot that match had happened. Not gonna lie. Next match. And the thumbnail is Cesaro delivering the neutralizer to Randy Orton. Alright, next match. Just waiting for the next match. My computer, it's not slow, but it's kind of taking forever. Alright, this is number 22. It was Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus versus Christian versus Alberto Del Rio in an Intercontinental Championship #1 contenders match fatal 4-way and happened on Raw March 24th. I actually remember this match. The thumbnail is Christian about to give the powerbomb to Dolph Ziggler. I do remember this match though. I'm just waiting for it can tell me when I can hit next. Alright. Next match. Alright, so this match is number 21. I forgot to mention. No, I didn't. Number 21 is Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston versus Rob Van Dam versus Jack Swagger, and a Money in the Bank ladder match for a WWE World Heavyweight Championship contract. And this match happened at Money in the Bank, obviously. and it shows Dean Ambrose superplexing Seth Rollins right off a ladder. I'm gonna see if it shows anybody else. Like anybody laid out on the floor. Nope. Alright, but the next match, I'm just closing some stuff because some pop-ups popped up. No, that's why they call them pop-ups. So that was number 21, though. Number 20. Let's see what number 20 is. Number 20 is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and it happened at WrestleMania 30, and it shows, the picture shows Cesaro holding up the trophy since he won it. I'll cover that when I get there. Now I just gotta wait until I can hit next. This is number 21 now. Alright, here comes number 19. Just waiting for number 19. This pop-up keeps popping up. It's the same one every time, too. Alright, number 19 is when John Cena defended the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. The thumbnail is Brock Lesnar giving John Cena a German suplex, and Paul Heyman just standing there at ringside. Good stuff. Alrighty, I'm just gonna wait till it says I can hit next. Alrighty, just waiting. So that was number 19. Here comes number 18. Has the same guy, and then it's John Cena versus Bray Wyatt in a last man standing match from Payback. And the picture shows John Cena hitting Bray Wyatt with a steel chair. Yeah. Alright, I can hit next. Just waiting. So John Cena has been in 2 nominees in a row. Alrighty. Can I hit next? Do I have to hit next? Nope, I can just, it's going right there. Alright, number 17 is El Torito versus Hornswoggle in the WeeLC match at Extreme Rules on the pre-show. And the thumbnail is Hornswoggle going off a mini ladder onto El Torito, and it shows Los Matadors being Diego and Fernando, and Heath Slater, standing inside because they were in El Torito's corner, and Heath Slater standing in Hornswoggle's corner because he was one of many people. He was one of 3 people that stood in Hornswoggle's corner, but I'm not going to go through who was going in his corner. Let's just get to number 16. Alright. Number 16 is when Bad News Barrett defended the Intercontinental Championship against Dolph Ziggler, and this will happen on Raw, June 23rd. And the thumbnail is Dolph Ziggler laid out and Bad News Barrett standing on his knees. Alright, next match. That was number 16. Here comes number 15. Alright, number 15 is when Randy Orton defended the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Daniel Bryan, John Cena, Cesaro, Christian, and Sheamus in an Elimination Chamber match at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. And the thumbnail is pretty much all as John Cena, Daniel Bryan, and Sheamus look like they're going to attack Randy Orton, and Cesaro's just out there outside the ring. I think that looks pretty good. And this actually was made, this list was made on December 26, 2014. I kind of want to mention that while I'm waiting for it to go. So this is number 14. It was Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins in the Lumberjack match at SummerSlam. And the picture, the thumbnail, shows Dean Ambrose fighting with Seth Rollins in the crowd. Yeah, great feud. Right, next match. The next match was... I'm just waiting for it until I can go to next. Okay, the next match was... Okay. The next match was number 13. John Cena versus Cesaro on Raw from February 17th. And the thumbnail is Cesaro putting John Cena in like a sleeper hold. Good stuff. Alright, next match. Next match. Come on, number 12. That was number 13. We need number 12. Number 12. Number 12 was Daniel Bryan versus Wade Barrett from the Royal Rumble. Yeah. No, Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt. I think I said Wade Barrett by accident. It was Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt from the Royal Rumble. I think I said Bray Wyatt, but I think I said Wade Barrett by accident. Alright, it's just a lot of names. I mean, and the thumbnail shows Daniel Bryan doing like the yes kicks to Bray Wyatt in the corner. So here comes number 11. That was number 12. I can't believe I screwed that up and said Wade Barrett. It was Bray Wyatt. Number 11 is when Dolph Ziggler defended the Intercontinental Championship against Cesaro and Tyson Kidd in a triple threat elimination match, and it happened on SmackDown on November 14th. And it shows Cesaro about to give this win to Tyson Kidd. I actually didn't even get to see this match because I didn't watch that SmackDown, so I don't really know how good that match was. I mean, I said I wasn't gonna make any comments, but I'm just saying I didn't get to see that match. Alright, number 10 is the Usos, which is Jimmy and Jay, when they defended their WWE Tag Team Championships against the two members of the Wyatt family, being Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, in a 2 out of 3 falls match, and it happened at Battleground. And the leader of the Wyatt family was Bray Wyatt. And yeah, the thumbnail is the Usos, both of them super kicking Eric Rowan while Luke Harper's down. So let's get to the next match. That was number 10. So we're at the top 10. We're getting to the nitty gritty here. Number 9 was Sami Zayn versus Cesaro from NXT Arrival. And the thumbnail is like Cesaro putting Sami Zayn in like a leg lock. That was such a great match. Alright, next match. Alright, well here's what next match. That was number 9. Here's number 8 was Daniel Bryan versus Triple H, and the winner was going to get into the main event of WrestleMania 30 later on that night for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And obviously that match happened at WrestleMania 30 because then what would be the point? And the thumbnail is Triple H getting Daniel Bryan in his yes lock while Stephanie McMahon's like clapping him inside. I'm just waiting for... Okay, I can hit next. The next match. Next match. Number 7's actually that match. When Randy Orton defending the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Daniel Bryan and Batista in the triple threat match. And it happened at WrestleMania 30. This was when Daniel Bryan had beaten Triple H and went on to become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And the thumbnail is Batista. It was when Randy Orton did the Batista bomb and Randy Orton did like the RKO at the same time through the announcer's table. And you see JBL out there on commentary. Alright, next match. That was number 7. Number 6 was Natalya versus Charlotte on NXT, and it was like the finals of the Women's Championship tournament. Whoever would have won would be the new Women's Champion, and this happened in NXT TakeOver, and it shows Natalya putting Charlotte in the sharpshooter. That's the thumbnail. That was number 6. So now we're going to get to the top 5. This is going to be pretty interesting. Number 5. Number 5. Okay, here comes number 5. Number 5 is The Shield, which consisted of Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins, versus Evolution, which in this time consisted of Randy Orton, Batista, and Triple H. And before, though, Ric Flair was in it. And this match happened at Extreme Rules, and the thumbnail is like them having a face-off. Roman Reigns and Randy Orton are facing off. Dean Ambrose and Batista are facing off, and Seth Rollins and Triple H are facing off. So, next match. That was number 5. Here comes number 4. Alright, number 4. Number 4 is when Adrian Neville defended his NXT Championship against Sami Zayn, Tyler Breeze, and Tyson Kidd in the Fatal 4-Way match. And it happened at NXT TakeOver 2, Fatal 4-Way. And it shows the thumbnail is Adrian Neville fighting with Tyson Kidd and Sami Zayn fighting with Tyler Breeze. Okay, next match. That's number 4. Here comes number 3. And we're going to get to the top 3. The top 3 matches of the year. Number 3. Just waiting for... Okay, it's going. Alright, number 3 is The Shield versus the Wyatt family at Elimination Chamber. And it just shows everybody fighting. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are like double teaming Eric Rowan. And I think it just shows the Shield going right after the Wyatt family, I think. So I think that's awesome. That's number 3. Number 2. Number 2. Yeah. What is number 2? What is it? Actually, I really don't know. Number 2. This is a number 2. Was it when Adrian Neville defended the NXT Championship against Sami Zayn at NXT TakeOver 3 or Evolution? And now we're going to get to the number 1 match of the year. This is the number 1 match of the year. It was... What was it? What is it? The number 1 match of the year in WWE, WWE in 2014. The 2014 match of the year. Come on, tell me what it is. It was Team Cena, which consisted of John Cena, Dolph Ziggler, Big Show, Ryback, and Eric Rowan, versus Team Authority, which was Seth Rollins, at the time Corporate Kane, Rusev, Luke Harper, and Mark Henry. in a traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination tag team match. And this happened at Survivor Series. And the winner, and if Team Cena won, the Authority, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon would no longer be in power. And if Team Cena lost, everybody on that team but John Cena would be fired. And it shows Sting putting Dolph Ziggler on Seth Rollins, like about to put him on him so he can pin him when Sting made his debut. And that's all the matches that's on the website. I'm going to take a couple of days to think about this because it's not like a one-night thing. You have to obviously think it over. I am going to use these nominees that they have put out and decide for myself what I think is the match of the year. So I'll be back then, and yeah. Alright, so now I'm back. Actually, I need to check out the date. December 29th, 2014 at 12:36 a.m. You just saw it. I made a video. WWE.com posted the top 25 matches of 2014. I know it's 2015. I wanted to make this video before 2014 was over, but I didn't get a chance because I was busy doing other things. But I'm here now, and I read you guys WWE's version of the top 25 matches of 2014. So I decided to do something fun. I decided to make my own list. Using the same categories, obviously, but I'm going to make my own list and tell you why I think they deserve to be where they on the spot they are on that list. So I actually have it on Google Drive. I have to pull that up real quick. Alright. So, this is my list. And I am going to type this in the description box below so you can follow along if you want. I did the same thing with the WWE.com version of it. I wasn't planning on doing it, but I decided to do it anyways. So, let's get it started. Alright, so I'm going from number 25, and I'm going to go all the way to number 1. And let's just get it done. Alright, so number 25 was Torito versus Hornswoggle in the WeeLC match at Extreme Rules. I fucking, didn't even see that match, and I'm putting it on the bottom. I'm going to tell you why. It was a dumbass feud. It was really a dumbass feud. I fucking hated that feud. Anytime they were on the screen feuding together, I put my headphones in, listened to music, and did other things. I was not interested in that feud, and I never was, and they still do stuff today when they're feuding, but I just was not interested in that feud. I really did not give a shit about that feud, and I didn't even want to see the match. Luckily for me, this match was on the pre-show, so it really wasn't really much of a miss, so I didn't even watch the pre-show, and then they had a match at Payback, and I didn't want to see that match, so to be honest with you, shit's just bad. I mean, people say it was a comedy fest, but I don't know, it was just bad. I didn't even want to see that. So now we have number 24. You guys are going to hate me for having this one on the list. Dolph Ziggler, when Dolph Ziggler defended the Intercontinental Championship against Cesaro and Tyson Kidd in a triple threat elimination match. And it happened on SmackDown November 14th. And it's going to be all 2014. The reason why it's on the bottom of the list is because I didn't see the match, so I can't really judge, and if I watch the match now, I would already know who the winner was, so I didn't really see the point. I mean, I like to watch the match at some point in time, just not right now. I mean, I heard the match was great, phenomenal, but I didn't see the match because I didn't see that SmackDown because Adam and his friend JoJo was here, and he didn't want to see it. He didn't want to watch that SmackDown, so I actually am pretty pissed off that I didn't get to see this match. I actually heard this was an awesome match. The reason why I put it, though, above the Torito Hornswoggle match is I didn't have the option but to not see this match, but I had the choice to see the other match. So that's kind of my thoughts right there. Alright, so now I'm going to get to the matches I actually saw. Number 23 was Brie Bella versus Stephanie McMahon from SummerSlam. To be honest with you,
I thought the match was passable for a match. It was a solid women's match, but Stephanie McMahon, I give a lot of credit. She actually, for someone that didn't wrestle in the ring for 10 years, ended up putting up actually a pretty solid match. I just kind of look at the aftermath, though. It led to that awful Bella feud between Nikki and Brie, and it just kind of went nowhere. Brie Bella could have been like a huge star for the Divas division, and I think every match she has, she loses now, so, this shouldn't, I really don't give a crap about Brie Bella nowadays. It's just my point. Alright, so number 22 was John Cena versus Bray Wyatt in the Last Man Standing match from WWE Payback. I thought the match wasn't really, it was an okay match, but the match started off really slow. The stuff, and, it was just not really good stuff. And if you look at it like this, Bray Wyatt had already been buried by John Cena because he lost to him at WrestleMania. It took, John Cena pretty much defeated the entire Wyatt family at Extreme Rules. The Wyatt family, too, consisted of leader Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan. He beat the entire Wyatt family at Extreme Rules in the cage, and it took a little kid and a robe sitting for Bray Wyatt to win. That's bullshit. And Bray Wyatt was already being buried, so what was the point? If you had Bray Wyatt go over at Mania and go over at Extreme Rules, I would have been fine with Cena winning, but this match ruined Bray Wyatt for me, so that's probably why I'm not really a huge fan of it. This match, and pretty much was like a six-man, last man standing match, which was fine, because Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, came in, and they were feuding with Harper and Rowan at the time. They were setting up a tag team title feud between those two, and it was kind of looking like it, why did John Cena really need help fending off Harper and Rowan if they could fend them off by himself at WrestleMania and inside of a steel cage? That's the way I look at it, so that's probably my thoughts right there. Alright, so the next match was number 21. Dolph, and it was Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus versus Christian versus Alberto Del Rio and an Intercontinental Championship number 1 contenders fatal 4-way match, and it happened on Raw March 24th. I originally had this match on number 22, but then I realized this was Christian's last match in the WWE, so that's why it's where it is now. The reason why I don't like this match is because Christian had ended up getting injured and never got his IC title shot, so the match was pointless. But it was still good. I kind of wish Christian could have had a better last match in the WWE than this, but, it's passable. The winner would have faced Big E on main event for the IC title. I'm kind of pissed, though, that this had to be Christian's last match. Number 20 was John Cena versus Cesaro on Raw, February 17th. To be honest with you, the reason why this was a great match. I thought it was phenomenal. Cesaro looked great out there against Cena, but he didn't win. I think he should have beat Cena. That really would have solidified him as a star, but of course, that's not how the WWE likes to do business with John Cena. They had him win, so he was kicking out of all Cesaro's moves, so I thought that was pretty horseshit. The match was great, though. It was just, I know the outcome, I think Cesaro should have gone over. Alright, so number 19 was the Usos defending the WWE Tag Team Championships against the Wyatt family in a 2 out of 3 falls match, and it happened at WWE Battleground. I thought this was a great match. Great back and forth action. The Usos and the Wyatt families always kill it when they're in tag team matches together. Kind of sucks that the Harper and Rowan on the tag team anymore because we won't get to see them wrestle anymore. I thought it was great. Everything that went down was great, so I thought it was awesome stuff. Good stuff. I like the spot when I think it was Rowan or Harper when they did the double suplex. The Usos. I liked it when the Usos did a double splash to Harper to get the win, so I thought everything that they did was great. Definitely check this match out. Number 18 for me was Cesaro versus Randy Orton, and it happened on SmackDown February 14th on Valentine's Day. Great match. The thing that really made this match for me was the ending when Cesaro beat WWE World Heavyweight Champion at the time, Randy Orton, clean in the middle of the ring, because I actually didn't think that was going to happen, but It did, and I thought that was awesome. It kind of sucks where Cesaro is now on the card, but just where they were setting up for Cesaro, I thought was great. I'm glad Cesaro went over, and it was awesome stuff. Number 17 was Bad News Barrett versus Dolph Ziggler. When Bad News Barrett defended the Intercontinental Championship against Dolph Ziggler, and it happened on Raw, June 23rd. I thought this was a great IC title match. I really got into it. The only thing that hurt it for me was it was predictable who was gonna win. But it was great. I actually thought it was great. I can't remember the match off the top of my head, but I thought it was a great match. So let me just scroll down a little bit right here. Alright, up a little. Okay. Number 16 for me was when Daniel Bryan defended the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Kane in an Extreme Rules match at Extreme Rules. I thought this was great. It was the main event too, which really I didn't think it was going to be the main event, but it was. And I thought it was great because Daniel Bryan and Kane always have great matches together, I feel. They have great chemistry together. I don't know if it's because they were a tag team for so long, so that's why they were able to have these great matches together. But I thought it was great. And it actually was a pretty good, awesome Extreme Rules match. Kane had just remasked after being that corporate Kane for a while, which he still is. It made Kane look, and they made Kane look really strong in this match. How he kept getting offense onto Daniel Bryan, and then I remember when he put Kane in the forklift, and he brought the forklift, and then he did the diving headbutt off. Daniel Bryan did the diving headbutt off the forklift, and Kane kicked out. I thought that was awesome. I thought it was awesome that Kane actually went through a table that was on fire. I don't think we ever saw that because it's a PG company. That's something you wouldn't normally see. And then Bryan hit the flying knee on Kane for the win, and then they had Kane look even stronger by sitting up right after Daniel Bryan beat him. And they were going to still feud, but then Daniel Bryan got injured. So I thought that was a great match. Daniel Bryan and Kane always have great chemistry when they're wrestling together. I would like to actually see them maybe have another match before Kane retires, because technically, if you look at it, Kane did take Daniel Bryan out because he tombstoned him 3 times. So if you look at it that way, I think Daniel Bryan and Kane should have one more match together. Number 15 was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and it happened at WrestleMania 30. Great Battle Royal was the first time it ever happened, so I thought that was great that it had that going for it. And at first it kind of didn't really start out too great, because it was just kind of like they were just getting everybody out, which was what you would expect from a Battle Royal. But I thought some great stuff that happened in this match would be when Kofi Kingston had gotten eliminated, but he you thought he was going to get eliminated, but he ended up saving himself by holding his feet on the steel stairs. When Fandango eliminated Intercontinental Champion at the time, Big E, and he got too conky about it, and Sheamus hit the 10 beats of the Brabant on him and used that to eliminate him. I thought that was great. When Cesaro eliminated Rey Mysterio by using the uppercut, I thought that was awesome. When Alberto Del Rio had Sheamus in the cross arm breaker, and Sheamus eliminated himself and Del Rio, and then it came down to, and another thing I liked is when Ziggler was gonna get back in the win, and then Del Rio kicked him in the head, and then it came down to Cesaro and the Big Show, and you were thinking, I kind of had a feeling Cesaro was gonna win, but you weren't really sure though, and then you had that awesome moment when Cesaro body slammed Big Show outside the ring, reminiscent of when Hulk Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant at WrestleMania. Like, it looked like the exact same thing. And then Cesaro won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and solidified himself and got his WrestleMania moment. They didn't really, unfortunately, what sucked about it was they didn't follow up on it and had him be face. They put him with Paul Heyman, so I didn't really like that, but it was still good stuff. Number 14 was when Randy Orton defended the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against against Daniel Bryan, John Cena, Cesaro, Christian, and Sheamus in an Elimination Chamber match. I thought the match was good. I think everyone got in the match before eliminations. I like that. I like the way that Cesaro was utilized in the match when he used the pods and everybody. The only thing I hated about it, though, was it felt like the eliminations were too quick. Like, once The one thing I was unexpected was I expected Christian to get out first, but actually Christian ended up hitting a frog splash off the pod onto Sheamus to get him out. So I actually was shocked Sheamus got out first, and then but then afterwards the elimination just kept coming afterwards, and you set up the feud with the Bray, Wyatt, and Cena at Mania because they interfered in the match, and the Wyatt family interfered in the match and caused Cena. You set up the Daniel Bryan Triple H match because CM Punk had walked out. It was supposed to be Punk, but then it ended up being Daniel Bryan, and you had Corporate Kane interfere and help Randy Orton win. The only thing I didn't like about it was the predictability. You knew either Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan, most likely Randy Orton, were going to go over and win this match. That's the only thing I really didn't like about it. Alright, so next was number 13 is when Adrian Neville defended the NXT Championship against Sami Zayn, Tyler Breeze, and Tyson Kidd in a Fatal 4-Way match, and it happened at NXT TakeOver 2 Fatal 4-Way. This was a great match. You really did not know where it was going to go. You thought, you could have thought Sami Zayn was going to finally get his moment, finally become the new NXT champion, and get his moment and walk out champion. You thought Adrian Neville was going to retain the title, and it was going to be all good. Tyler Breeze, who was getting a huge push at the time, you thought he could have just walked out as champion. I think he was going to win. And Tyson Kidd, you thought was just going to get in there somehow and win. The match was great. Everybody got their spots in. Tyson Kidd looks great in this match, actually. I think he dominated 50% of this match. And then Tyler Breeze took out everyone with a beauty shot to Sami Zayn. The drop kick to Tyson Kidd. Or Adrian Neville was one of those two. And then eventually Sami Zayn just started going off, and you thought he hit the haluva kick on the Tyson Kidd in the corner. You thought he was going to win it there. The referee was making the count, and then Adrian Neville pulled the referee out. Sami Zayn was like, "What are you doing?" Goes out. Adrian Neville super kicks him, hits the red arrow on Tyson Kidd, and retains his title. It was really unexpected, and it was a very heel-like move for Adrian Neville to do, so I thought that was awesome. Number 12 for me was Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston versus Rob Van Dam versus Jack Swagger in a Money in the Bank ladder match for a WWE World Heavyweight Championship contract. And this match happened, believe it or not, at Money in the Bank. The reason why it's so high up on the card for me was because I actually was there for this match. I was actually really enjoying this match because it was the first time I had ever seen a Money in the Bank ladder match live. So that's pretty much why it's this far high up on the list. And I actually didn't really know what direction you could go. It really could have been anybody except for probably Ziggler. They didn't really. I think that one thing I hated about it was Ziggler wasn't really utilized in the match. But I actually at one point thought they were going to give it to Kofi Kingston because he actually almost had the briefcase at one point. So I thought that was awesome stuff. And then you had Seth Rollins win with an interference from Kane. Another thing I didn't like about this match was when Kane tombstone Dean Ambrose. The tombstone looked like shit, so that I actually just remembered that now. So that's probably why it's there too, because the ending kind of sucked. But I thought this was good stuff. Awesome stuff. Number 11. Natalya was when Natalya faced Charlotte for the vacant NXT Women's Championship at NXT TakeOver. Won, the first one ever. What do you say about this? Like, this was two women just going out there and proving that they can wrestle just as good as the men can. I thought that was awesome. You had Bret the Hitman Hart out there supporting Natalya. You had Ric Flair out there supporting Charlotte. This just had everything. I think the story was kind of there too. So I thought this was great stuff. They killed it. I think they actually kind of had. They almost had the match of the night for me. That's how great this match was. I thought it was great. If you've seen the Raw match that they had a couple weeks ago, and you go watch this match right here will make that match on Raw look like what they had look like an absolute joke. I'm not gonna lie. This was a great match. And then you had Charlotte beat Natalya with a bow down to the Queen, I think she calls it, or natural selection. I mean, they change a finisher every 2 months. So I thought that was awesome stuff. And I can't wait to see them actually go on in the main roster and have a match. Hopefully they can get the time they need to have a real match. Now we're going to go on to the top 10. Number 10. For me, it was Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins in a lumberjack match at SummerSlam. Now, the reason why I picked this match over the Natalya Charlotte match was I was thinking, they really did this. Like, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins made the lumberjack match mean something, because normally the lumberjack matches suck. And if you don't believe me, watch the lumberjack matches nowadays. But normally they suck. But they actually utilized the stiff this time. It made sense too, because Seth Rollins was always escaping from Dean Ambrose, so then he used the lumberjack stiff to get away with it. And you had the stiff with the lumberjack when they fought into the crowd, and the lumberjacks didn't know what they do, and Corporate Kane came out there and made the lumberjacks go get him. When Sin Cara got attacked by Seth Rollins too, that was kind of awesome. And all the lumberjacks too were just grabbing Seth Rollins back in the ring, and Seth Rollins went off like the top rope and did like an elbow to the Rollins while he was on the lumberjacks. You really didn't even know which direction this match was going to go. And then Dean Ambrose was about to win, but Corporate Kane interfered, and all the lumberjacks started getting into it. Ambrose took out Harper and Rowan, and Rollins hit Ambrose with the briefcase and got the win. So I thought this was a great match. They really made the lumberjack match mean something. So I thought this was awesome. And Ambrose, it was a great match to start off the feud between Rollins and Ambrose. I mean, you didn't really need to have a crazy match like a Hell in a Cell, a cage match, anything like that. I thought this was great for what they had, and you have Rollins walk away with the victory. So I thought this was awesome. And then number 9 was when John Cena defended the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. This match was great just due to the fact that it was more of a moment than it was a good match standpoint. You had Brock Lesnar go in there and just pretty much beat the shit out of John Cena. He buried him, hitting 16 German suplexes, and he even hit an F5 right off the bat. So I thought that was awesome stuff right there. John Cena only got a minute and 6 offense, and he didn't even do his 5 moves of doom that he normally does. So I thought that was awesome. And it was just an awesome moment right there. It showed that Brock Lesnar was really dominant. I think this was actually a good move because you have the guy that just beat The Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania. And why the hell shouldn't he look this dominant? I mean, I thought it was good stuff. It was great. No one's ever buried John Cena like this, because everyone was always talking about that John Cena always buries people, and then John Cena gets buried like this. I thought this was awesome. Alright, so now number 8. Let me just scroll down a little bit right here. Number 8 was when Randy Orton defended the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Daniel Bryan and Batista in the Triple Threat match. And this happened at WrestleMania 30. The reason why... this match was great, but the reason why it's not like higher up is because the streak had ended, and I was still in shock that the Undertaker streak ended. But I thought this was great, especially the power bomb, the Batista bomb into the RKO through the table. And when Randy Orton got his back bloodied up because he didn't take the monitor out properly. And then you had Daniel Bryan just kind of like go in there, and he got off the stretcher because he was being stretched out, but he did not want to quit. And you had Daniel Bryan walk out as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion by making Batista tap out. Batista, you wouldn't think that Batista would tap out to this. You would think Randy Orton would. So I thought that was awesome stuff. And then Daniel Bryan gets his moment, walks out of WrestleMania as WWE World Heavyweight Champion after the company had screwed him over time in and time out again. So I thought that was awesome. Hold on, I'm just plugging in my computer real quick. Alright. So I thought that was awesome stuff. It was really good. And we get to number 7, Daniel Bryan versus Triple H from WrestleMania 30. The winner was going to get into that triple threat match at WrestleMania. And like I said, I got into this match a lot. Triple H did a lot of moves that he never did, like the cross-face chicken win. Triple H wrestled like a submission guy. I liked that. You did kind of think Triple H was going to win just because of the way that they kept screwing Daniel Bryan over time in and time out. Look at the Royal Rumble when they didn't even put him in the Royal Rumble match. So I thought that was awesome. Daniel Bryan went over and he beat 3 of the company's big stars. Triple H, Randy Orton, and Batista. So I thought that was awesome. Great moment for Daniel Bryan. So then we are number 6 was the Shield, which consisted of Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns versus Evolution, which in 2014 consisted of Triple H, Randy Orton, and Batista. And then we were talking about 2002 up to 2005, Ric Flair would be in it. And this match happened at Extreme Rules. I thought this was a great match. First time ever the Shield fought Evolution. I thought that was awesome. It really picked up towards the end too when Roman Reigns was in there with Batista, and Triple H and Randy Orton both hit the pedigree and the RKO on him. And, eventually it led into a big brawl with Ambrose and Rollins brawling in the crowd with Triple H and Randy Orton. And Rollins went off the balcony right on to Randy Orton and Triple H. I thought that was awesome. And then the Shield got a big victory match over Evolution when Roman Reigns beat Batista with the spear. I thought this was great stuff. I thought this was a great feud as well, so that's what made the match really good as well. Everything was great. I was thinking this should have been an Extreme Rules match, but it is the first match, so we got to kind of give them something right there. But I thought this was a great match and awesome stuff. Number 5, now we're getting to the top 5, was Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt at the Royal Rumble. What do I say about this? This was a great match. This was actually the first match of the pay-per-view. This was the first match that really was great. Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt had great chemistry together. It's kind of hard for me to remember the match because it was in January of last year. But the one spot I remember was when Bray Wyatt kicked Daniel Bryan while he was in the turnbuckle. I thought that was awesome. And then when Daniel Bryan went for the suicide dive and Bray Wyatt caught him into the Sister Abigail, into the barricade, and then he put him back in the ring and did it in the ring. And then Bray Wyatt won, which was unexpected. I did not expect Bray Wyatt to win this match at all. At first I was pissed because they were doing it to Daniel Bryan. They kept screwing him over. I was hating it. Then eventually he was going to feud. Bray Wyatt was going to feud with John Cena. So I was fine with it because you had to have Bray Wyatt go into that feud looking strong. So I was fine with it, but the match was great, though. I can't believe it wasn't in the Slammy Awards for top, match of the year. That's bullshit. Alright, next match, number 4 is Sami Zayn versus Cesaro from NXT Arrival. I mean, you had when, Sami Zayn was going to go for that tornado DDT, while he was in the ring post, and Cesaro just caught him in an uppercut. They just kept going back and forth. I can't really explain to you how great this match was. It was great. You could say there was no story behind it. There kind of was, because Sami Zayn wanted to earn Cesaro's respect, so he wanted to do it. Then Cesaro ended up beating him with a neutralizer. I thought it was great. This was a great match. Number 3 was the Shield versus the Wyatt family from Elimination Chamber. First time ever this happened. This should have happened, I think, at WrestleMania, but we got it at Elimination Chamber. And that's not even going to be around anymore, which sucks. But I thought it was great. You got this as awesome chance before the match even started. That just shows it right there. I don't even need to explain nothing no more. Everything was great about that match. Wyatt family ended up going over, but I was fine with that. Number 2 was when Adrian Neville defended the NXT Championship against Sami Zayn, and it happened at NXT TakeOver All Evolution. I thought this match was awesome. I'm going to just watch my NXT review. This kicked ass. It was a good story building up to the match, a good story in the match, and a good story after the match. I thought that was great stuff. You were questioning whether or not this was going to be Sami Zayn's moment, and I thought it was great stuff. It was awesome. And my number 1 match of the year was Team Cena, which consisted of John Cena, Dolph Ziggler, Big Show, Ryback, and Eric Rowan, versus Team Authority, which was Seth Rollins, Kane, and United States Champion Rusev, Intercontinental Champion Luke Harper, and Mark Henry. And it was a traditional 5-on-5 elimination tag team match, and it happened at Survivor Series. And if Team Authority lost, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon would no longer be in power. And if Team Cena lost, everybody on that team except for John Cena would be fired. Pretty much made the match predictable, but it was still a great match. There was a good story in the match. I got into this match probably from the beginning to the end. I like the way they had Rusev get counted out and not get eliminated. He eliminated himself because he went to do the splash to Dolph Ziggler, and he missed him and went through the table. I thought that was awesome. The only thing I didn't like was Big Show turning heel for the 3,000th time. And then Rollins eliminated Cena, and it was down 3-on-1. Dolph Ziggler versus Luke Harper. Dolph Ziggler versus Luke Harper, Corporate Kane, and Seth Rollins. And you think it's done. Seth Ziggler's going to lose. And then he eliminates Kane with a zigzag. He rolls up Luke Harper to eliminate him. And it's down to Ziggler and Rollins. And Ziggler has Rollins beat a couple of times, and Triple H keeps interfering in the match. He pedigrees Ziggler. He puts Rollins on him to get the victory. And then who comes out to make his debut? None other than Sting. I mean, that just made the match awesome right there. Sting had finally made his debut in the WWE. He said he would never work for the WWE. He finally makes his debut. It was awesome. Everybody got into it. He comes out, has a face-off with Triple H, lays him out with a Scorpion Death Drop, and then puts Ziggler on Rollins, and Ziggler wins. He's the sole survivor. It made Ziggler into a star. We got to see the debut of Cena, and I thought that was awesome. I guess the only thing that kind of ruins the match was the Authority's now back after like a month, but I still thought the match was great. Now, you think I'm done, but I'm actually not done, because there's actually some honorable mentions I want to mention, because I want to talk about, because I think these matches should have been in the, in the top 10. So I kind of want to mention them real quick. Alright, so my honorable mentions are Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell match at Hell in a Cell. I mean, what are you going to say here? I mean, the Hell in a Cell match was becoming shit. And Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins made the Hell in a Cell match mean something. They were in a personal feud. And this is how you really do a Hell in a Cell match. You end feuds with the Hell in a Cell match, and that's what they did here. And you had the match start on the roof. Ambrose and Rollins are fighting each other. They both go off the cell through the announce tables. And then you have them go in the cell. Dean Ambrose is beating the shit out of Seth Rollins. Corporate Kane sprays him in the face with a fire extinguisher. Rollins powerbombs him through the table. Ambrose hits him with the briefcase. Everything was just great here. And then you had Bray Wyatt return after the Wyatt family had just broken up. And then layout cost Ambrose the match. And I actually think in the future, in this year, Ambrose and Rollins will have a feud again, and it's going to be great stuff. Because Rollins ended up beating him, and then Wyatt and Ambrose are now feuding. Another laudable mention I think you should have in this series was Usos defending the WWE Tag Team titles against Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, and this match happened at Money in the Bank. Great match. I mean, it's just awesome. I mean, what do you say about it? It was the first match they had together. I didn't think it was going to be... I knew it was going to be good, but not this good. It was the opener, and I got to be there live for this match, so I thought it was awesome. And then another one was when Luke Harper defended the Intercontinental Championship against Dolph Ziggler in a ladder match, and this match happened at TOC, which stands for Tables, Ladders, Chairs, and Stairs. I thought it was great. Nothing really more to say. I pretty much just covered this match not that long ago. I thought it was a great match. Luke Harper was pretty much destroying Ziggler. You really thought it could have gone either way, so I thought that was awesome. Then we have Ambrose and Wyatt in a TOC match from TOC, Tables, Ladders, Chairs, and Stairs. They pretty much just both beat the hell out of each other. It wasn't really a match, it was a brawl, so I thought that was awesome. Definitely check out that match. And then the next match we have is when AJ Lee defended the Divas Championship against Paige at SummerSlam. The feud was... I didn't really like the feud going in the match, but I thought the match was great. AJ Lee went in there, and Paige went in there, and they both had a great match. AJ Lee went off the top turnbuckle and went right on the Paige on the outside. Paige powered out of the Black Widow and hit the Rampage for the win, so I thought it was great stuff. I think they could have been better if they'd had more time, but I thought it was great stuff. And then we have the next match. It was when Paige defended the NXT Women's Championship against Emma at NXT Arrival. Great match. There was awesome stuff in this match when Emma powerbombed Paige. when Emma was the first woman ever to kick out of the Paige Turner, and then they had the debut of the Paige's submission. I thought that was a great match. Definitely check it out. When Adrian Neville defended the NXT Championship against Tyson Kidd, and this match happened at the first NXT TakeOver. Great match. You really didn't know which way it was going to go, so I thought that was good. You had Adrian Neville win, and then you had the awesome heel turn with Tyson Kidd. And then you have a match that happened earlier in the night when it was Tyler Breeze versus Sami Zayn. And the winner was going to become the number one contender for the NXT Championship. And this match also happened at NXT TakeOver. I thought that was great. You really didn't know, like I said, which way that was going to go. And I was actually pretty shocked Tyler Breeze won. I actually wasn't expecting him to win. And then you had the Shield versus Evolution in the No Holds Barred elimination match. And it happened at WWE Payback. This was great. You had the Evolution and the Shield going out there. They had that big brawl. Then it turned into a tag team match for a little bit, and then Evolution and pretty much just beat the shit out of the Shield when Evolution grabbed Candlestick and just started beating Roman Reigns with them, and he had his shirt off too. I thought that was awesome. When Seth Rollins went off the Titantron, I forget what it's called, and dived on all three members of Evolution. And then you had Shield, and then you had Batista get eliminated by the spear from Roman Reigns. I think Rollins was the one that pinned him, though. Ambrose eliminated Randy Orton with Dirty Deeds. So then it's down to a 3-on-1, the Shield versus Triple H. And Randy Orton and Batista try to help beat Triple H. Batista takes out other members of the Shield, and Orton hands Triple H a sledgehammer. He starts using it. You think he's just going to come back. And then Rollins high knees Triple H. Reigns spears him. And it's a clean sweep. It was a clean sweep. I thought that was awesome stuff. It was great. Jack Swagger versus Rusev in the flag match at SummerSlam. I thought that was a great match. You really didn't know what direction that match was going to go in. And you had Rusev make Jack Swagger pass out. I like that Swagger didn't tap out, he passed out. So I thought that was awesome. Chris Jericho versus Bray Wyatt in the Steel Cage match, and it happened on September 9th. I thought that was a great match. And you had the epic moment when Jericho dived off the cage right onto Bray Wyatt. And then you had Bray Wyatt and Jericho fighting to both get out of the cage, and Wyatt wins. I thought that was awesome. And then you had Wyatt lay out Jericho after the match. I thought that was great. Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton. And that match happened on February 3rd. It was the first of the Gauntlet series that Randy Orton had to go through. He had to go through everyone in the Elimination Chamber: Cena, Cesaro, Sheamus, and Christian. And it was a great match. It showed why they should have main evented a WrestleMania together, and I thought that was great. And you had Daniel Bryan win, even from interference from Corporate Kane. I thought that was awesome. Yeah, I didn't really overcome the odds. And then the last one, I actually have one more that I want to mention. The triple threat match when Paige defended the Divas Championship against Nikki Bella and AJ Lee. I thought that was a great match. Nikki Bella really worked well in the match, and everyone won. And AJ Lee ended up making Paige tap out to the Black Widow. It was Paige or Nikki Bella, I forget. The only thing I hate was they didn't have Brie Bella interfere in the match, but the match was still great. The next one was Daniel Bryan, Sheamus, and John Cena versus The Shield, and it happened on Raw, January 27th, 2014. And I knew that Daniel Bryan, Sheamus, and John Cena were going to win because the winner would have qualified for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber match. But it was still unpredictable. You really didn't know what direction it was going to go. By the end, it really got good. It was really awesome. I thought that was great stuff. And then eventually, Roman Reigns was powering out of John Cena's STF, and you could have said that the Shield could have won it there. But then the Wyatt family came out and interfered, and Cena, Bryan, and Sheamus all fought him off. And then that started the feud between the Shield and the Wyatt family, because the Wyatt family, because Cena, Bryan, and Sheamus got won by DQ, so the Wyatts cost the Shield the number to go into the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So I thought that was awesome stuff, and that's my list. If you guys want, I'm not really going to repeat them. I'm going to put this in the description box. And if you guys want to see it, then that's fine and dandy. But I thought overall, my list ended up being pretty good. If you want to leave your list using the same nominees, then you guys can do this just that. But yeah, I bet everyone's gonna have different opinions. Like I said, probably the Money in the Bank ladder match. I'm looking at that one right now just because I was there live. It's my opinion about the match is different than yours. So I thought this was great stuff. Alright, so I'm gonna be back. I actually have to make 2 more videos, and then I'm all done for the day probably. And then yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So I'll see you later. Subscribe to this channel, and peace out.